better than before. Through those open doors, where I am now, where I am now, I'm in a special place. And here we go. It's now time for the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. The music that you hear in the background is none other than Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, where I am now. And if you'd like to see us live in WGPL 1350 studio, all you have to do is go to Edward Everett's Facebook page or Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton Facebook page. And guess what? You can see us live right here in WGPL 1350 studio. And if you want to hear us on the World Wide Web, all you have to do is go to www.christianbroadcastingcompany.com, click and listen live, or you can go to 1400 AM and 1350 AM, and you can click and hear us all over the world. And now I want to introduce to some and present to others the host of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, and a pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. E. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Would you, could you, will you be my neighbor?
Let's welcome our neighbors, our WGPL 1350 AM listeners.
And Peace 95.3 FM and WPCE 1400 AM.
Woo! Facebook Live is on and popping. Let's also welcome Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. We'll shout you out later on in the show.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Like, share, comment, subscribe, and we promise we'll shout you out. Yes, we
shout out.
Mr. E.
Yeah.
It's an interesting day already. You all right over there?
I'm all right. I'm all right over here.
Well, what day is it today, Mr. E?
Today is Hump Day. That's what today is.
Me and the senator almost jumped out of our seats. I tell you what, it is Hump Day. It's the middle of the week, and I hope you all are having a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time.
That's right.
Mr. E, this is Wednesday.
That's right. It's Wednesday, issues concerning men.
Yes, what's under the hat. And we have today, again, the Honorable Senator Lionel Sproul. We want to say good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
It's so good to have you all the time. You know, I saw you on the big screen on yesterday. It was a pleasant surprise to see you yesterday morning. You're in a campaign mode at this time. Tell us a little bit about what's going on, and then we're going to talk about some of the issues that are on the ballot.
Every 2 years or every 4 years, as far as the Senate is concerned, you have an election. This year, what happened this year is the redistricting. Every 10 years by law, you have a redistricting. And it's based on population. Some cities lose population, some gain. So based on that, you draw the lines based on that. You don't base on lines, draw the lines by color, male, female, Democrats, Republicans, by districts. So what happened was during that, then a lot of changes have been made all across the state, everywhere. People are changing because they move. For example, I used to represent Chesapeake and Norfolk. Norfolk lost population.
Yeah.
Wow.
Virginia Beach is the largest city. 10 years ago, Norfolk was the second largest city in the state. But now, guess what? It's no longer the second largest. Now it's Chesapeake.
Wow.
So they took me out of Norfolk because Norfolk now only has probably one full senator and one or two other precincts go to Virginia Beach. But Chesapeake now is the second largest city in the state. So what they did was they gave me back to Chesapeake from 50% to 65% and a small portion of 35%.
Senator Spruill, what's happening in Norfolk? Where are people going? I mean, are they going from Norfolk to Chesapeake? No, or they're just leaving?
No. And now we think what happened is that and the project, or they turned it down. Right? So
yes, that's right.
So they got to move somewhere. You see, so they're giving them vouchers that they're trying to find places for them as much. So a lot of folks are leaving Norfolk, especially around the downtown area. I guess there are future developments in Norfolk. So those folks, thousands, got to go somewhere.
Wow.
So they're trying to find them somewhere to go. That's one thing in Norfolk.
So Chesapeake is growing. You know, I was living in Chesapeake for years. I live in Virginia Beach now, and Chesapeake is definitely growing. It looks good. They're building homes and things. Chesapeake, you need them to come out and represent. Tell us what's on the ballot. What should people know in the district that you're in now?
The new district is 18, okay? And that's based on population because the change. Now with Chesapeake there, now what happened is that let's take Cliff Hayes, who was in the 77, okay? He had Greenbrier and all the South Norfolk area. He no longer had that now. So what happened now, so he got to move back to South Norfolk to represent his district. Wow. So in my particular case, is that I have now, the point I had in Norfolk, they gave it to me in Portsmouth. And I still have all of Chesapeake I had before from 30 years ago. Yes. So I represent that now, and I'm challenging the senator in Portsmouth.
Yes.
See, but that's a 17th district that she could go to if she chose to. She chose not to. So my thing is this right here is that I'm running on for the people, not for myself.
Absolutely.
It is all about you. And when my opponent is saying that I'm going to be first, this will be chairman of this, it doesn't matter what we're going to be. What have you done and what you're going to do? The customer. So but right now, I met the governor twice on the topic about the males who are incarceration, on the restoration of rights. How can we get them automatically done? And the governor's working with me. We have made some progress, but not enough. We have made some progress with that. So I want to talk about that when they have given me the chance to do so.
Yeah, what other things are people concerned about and the things that you're running on?
You'd be surprised. The women's rights to choose.
Talk a little bit about that.
Okay, the key is this right here. Is that you gotta understand is that I believe I do not deserve to tell you and your family what to do if a child make a mistake. If they don't make a mistake, or you, your wife, what have you. That's between you and your family. Why do I have the right to tell you what to do with your body as a female?
Yeah.
See, Reverend, we can't have no babies.
That's right.
You see, so it's up to the woman and her doctor, her family. Y'all decide, not politicians. So I am pro-choice, and pro-choice is let the family decide. Well, look at me, Reverend. 15 brothers and sisters.
Wow.
Woo, okay, my mother. Woo. Pro-choice. Pro-choice. You see. No, so hey, what 72 nieces and nephews.
72?
But they made that choice.
Okay.
Yes.
You see, and so to me, I'm strongly urging the folks to get behind me and others like me say, hey, it is really important to let the woman make the choice. We don't want to go back to the old days where they had to go in an alley somewhere and use a rack or whatever. Hang had these all kinds of bullshit was not safe.
Well, Senator Spruill, how did it get from under us now? Roe versus Wade, that's like pushed aside. How is it that if so many women, I believe in the country there's 61% or more of people that believe in pro-choice, why is this law getting away from us, and why do we have to start again where back in the day they fought so hard for the rights of women?
Because now across the country, those politicians, mainly in Washington, D.C., particularly men, that's what you go and check the record. It is men who are trying to pass these laws to conduct women, life.
You think they're going back to the Egypt and the days of old where Pharaoh wanted to control the male child, the population?
Go back further than that.
Go ahead.
I want to definitely is at least they're not trying to get rid of the female. Okay. See, I know what the scripture says. At least that you see. So, but the kid, they were saying that you want to kill a baby. So for them, we said, wait a minute, what's the difference? I don't believe in that. That when a young man, a woman make mistake at 14, and you want to kill him in an electric chair, whatever they want to do, what's the difference? You shouldn't kill anybody no way. So they see, and that's the key. So right now, I am pro-choice. To me, let the woman and her family, the doctor, y'all make the decision. Yes. That's right. The other one is the restoration rights. Okay, that's really the focus, because Bob McDonald started first. He was the first one who started, and his thing was that for non-violence. His thing was non-violent, the rights automatically restored.
Yes.
Then you got Ralph Northern and Terry McCullough signed up. When you have done your time, brother, and Miss Hampton, you have done your time, and you're out, and you're trying to get a job. Why you have to hold that on your head? There are some folks out here 20 years, got a good job, want a promotion. They can't do that because their rights have not been restored. You see, so why? But this governor, according to the Constitution, he had your right one at a time. According to the Constitution and upheld by the Supreme Court 2016. So I have met with him twice. Yes. So what he wants to do is this. The first thing they had was 90 days. They let everybody to make a request, 9 days interview. And I said, by the time you get to all those who need the rights restored, I said, you would have been president twice.
Oh, wow.
But the second time, Rob, I met with him second time, because I appealed to his heart. And the second time, we agreed, ma'am, it's a 30 days process. And it could be even lower for those who are non-violent. So he believed that in the second chance, but he believed that you still should go through the process. So the process has been changed from 90 days to 30 days. And it could even be less for the non-violent, you see. Yes. So, but still, that's great, Governor, but it's not for enough. Not for enough. At least non-violent should be automatic. That's what I believe. Now, I have no problem with the violent 30 days application and let them have it once it's done. But still, I'm keeping on working. I want to get it back to where it is right now. But once you have done your time, you protect the citizen, and you apply, the right should be restored automatically. That's what I believe in.
And that's what we need, Senator Spruill. We got so many folks out here today that rights need to be restored because they want jobs, they want to go to work. But when you look around the city of Chesapeake, when you look around, how do you feel when you see so many young men, African American men that's been incarcerated, cannot get a job, just standing on the corner because their rights has not been restored? How do you feel about that?
It's sad, especially the young folks. Let me tell you what was going on in younger days when teenagers in high school, 17, 18 years old, high school, 16, get in trouble. And what they were doing all across the state, they would take you come in, Miss Hunter, if you had a child. They would say, okay, you sign right here, you can come home. But he came home, then when that child finished high school, go to college, get a job, boom, you got a felony record.
Wow.
No, I don't.
Wow.
I say, I never been locked up. No, because you were in a fight somewhere with some kid, a basketball game would have you hit somebody, and they won't charge you. They have you sign right here and let you carry you home. Then they say, no, you got a felony record. And that's not right. That's what we are saying, parents. Don't sign nothing. Get a lawyer if you got a teenage kid, get yourself in trouble. Don't sign nothing because they were saying, well, you can sign right here and carry him home right now. And see, and then their rights are gone. And then their rights are gone. Then when they finish school or anywhere else they can't get a job because they say, I never been in trouble before.
Wow.
You see?
Wow.
And that was one thing. The second thing is this, that a lot of folks who have served their time, they're out, they got a job, go to church, got a good family and all they want the rights to restore because some jobbers said, if you had your rights to restore, you could get a promotion on your job, what have you. They cannot. So that's my appeal to the government. So the government has cracked some, and he has left the door open for me to come back And I'm saying now I'm working on at least the non-violent, get them their rights automatically.
Yes.
On the other ones, I can wait 30 days.
Okay.
At least that.
Yes.
You see. So we're trying to do that, and then it's really important. So it is important to let the citizen know it's about you. And that's the difference between me and my opponent. I'm saying it's about you, not about what position I can get in the Senate.
Yeah.
I am up there to serve you, the citizen. That's important. So when my opponent is saying that I'm going to be the first this and first that, that doesn't count.
Mm-hmm.
We are sent up there to work for you, the citizen, get things passed for you.
Wow.
That's what I'm all about.
We love that.
That's wonderful.
Senator Spruill, you were just a part of a grand opening over in Chesapeake, Virginia. What's your thinking of the gun laws, gun violence, and some things that we can do to stop some of this mass shooting?
In Chesapeake, at the Walmart. You know what it was? Walmart.
Yes, sir.
We had to reopen Walmart because we have an employee.
Yes.
You see. So what we found out was this. Also, the kid that shot in Newport News, 6-year-old kid.
Mm-hmm.
Well, two things. One of them is mental health. We found out a lot of them got a mental health problem that we did not well.
Whoa.
We did not know that young kids at that age had mental health. Now, I did. 6 years old, I was crazy. So I still got a mental health problem. I'm just, well, I'm number 13 out of 16. So I'm entitled to have a mental health problem. You see, 13 out of 16. Well, we found out this. So that was important. Now, what can we do? We are now saying, let's make laws. That 60-year-old kid, how was he able to get a gun?
Yes.
It's okay. Now, if you, the parents, if you don't do something, we're going to start charging you.
Mm-hmm.
Because we say we got to do something. Let's start from that point first of all. We got to do something because how in the world did a 6-year-old kid find a gun in the house? Why it was not put away and locked up properly where it was?
Yes.
Right.
That's number one.
Yes.
Number two, we found out that these kids who are sick, the folks who are out in the street, we found out walking the street with guns at nighttime, and they take them to the jail. They say, well, this guy's sick, this girl's sick. They carry them to the hospital. They say, oh, they got a mental problem.
Oh, boy.
So the next day, they let them out. But Chesapeake General and Centero, now they got a mental health ward to say, don't just put them out in the street. They got a problem. Number three, we're concerned about why in the world that you got a gun that you're legal to have, that's a legal gun in your car. Why you don't lock it up? Why put it on the seat where I can look in there and see that gun, break the glass and get the gun out? We're gonna make sure now we're gonna find you. We're gonna find you because this gun is not proper. So we are making laws now say, hey, number one, if you don't start putting that gun away properly, you're gonna be responsible for it. And yesterday, Reverend, a young lady, yesterday I was asked by a citizen saying, why can't you make those who purchase the gun have some insurance? Like you know on your car. So if someone steal your gun and hurt someone, then you got insurance to cover that person for insurance. Wow. I'm gonna put that bill in.
I like
that's
that.
Right. That's great. That's great.
And that way you have to have insurance on your gun in case something happens to any citizen that you're responsible with the insurance.
How you feel about taking on the NRA for stronger gun control law? How do you feel about going against that's a giant right there? Do you feel like you, Goliath, David, that you can take down that great big giant? Because you know the NRA, they own half of everything. So how you feel about taking on NRA with the strong gun control?
David, without a slingshot, it won't work for these guys.
Yeah.
What happened with NRA and Washington lobbyists, they're real strong. Mm-hmm. That's why we can't get them. They're real strong. They put that money out to those who believe in gun control. They put that money out also in Richmond as well. Could you imagine how we had 32 young folks get killed at Virginia Tech at that time?
Yes.
And we all felt crying and so forth. We tried to put laws through. They stopped it.
Ooh.
See, Democrats trying to put laws through, they stopped it because they got the votes. Number one, there's 21 votes in the Senate because it's out of 40. The House, they took one out of 100. They stopped it. So the key is just until the citizen in Virginia and across the country making their politicians accountable. That, hey,
Yes.
you will do this. If not, you will not be elected to office. Stop running for office to the NRA for the money.
Yes.
Run to support the people. That's important.
It
So
was,
I wish we
yeah.
could take it on.
Yeah,
I wish we could, like I say, but it takes a lot of money. We have tried. We have the votes in the House, Senate. I mean, Senate Democrats, we have
Yes.
tried, but we can't get it out because the Republicans have been stopping.
It would seem that the NRA and the leaders would come together and find remedies. The NRA, yes, you all, would come and say, okay, we know this is our services. We sell guns, but we want to be responsible to the community and to the nation. And so we should do this to help, manage some of the things that are going on with gun laws. Tell us about your campaign. Tell us when voting time is going to take place, who can vote and where. Well, you may not know where, but we'll find out. But tell us a little bit about the voting process.
Okay, the process of voting for the primary, Democratic primary and the Republican primary. Early voting start May 5th.
Mm-hmm.
And the early voting in Chesapeake and Portsmouth is one site only at the registrar's office.
Say that again so everybody would know it.
Early voting
Mm-hmm.
start May 5th. We are putting one of those put in by me, by the way. One of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not that particular one. But the early voting start May 5th.
Mm-hmm.
When if you don't want to wait till June 20th,
Yes.
the election is June 20th.
Mm-hmm.
You can wait and go vote at your precinct that you're not on the board at on June 20th. Or you saying, I don't want to stand in no line, you can go as of May 5th. Go to the registrar office off of Cedar Road in Chesapeake, the registrar's office in Portsmouth. I don't know what that is. But those two offices will have opening for 45 days
Very good.
until the election time comes early. Then the election itself is on June 20th. And that's it. So we're asking the folks to please get out. The kids, this, I am about you. I'm not about I. I am about you. Get some things done. And I try to tell folks that I have been out here long enough now.
Yes.
I don't have to promise nothing. After 30 years, you should know whether or not I've done something or not.
Absolutely.
That's right.
You see, and that's important.
And then you grew up in Chesapeake also. 15 youngins and all of y'all know they know them schools out there in Chesapeake because y'all got a great name out there.
Tell him it's South Norfolk.
South Norfolk. That's what I thought you was.
I'm
That's
from
right.
Berkeley. I'm from Berkeley, and I was right across the track from in South Norfolk. I've been down to Benjamin Franklin. I've been to the Five and Dime store. I've been to Overton Market. So I am familiar. My sister stays on Park Avenue. So I am familiar with South Norfolk, with all them sprues running around South Norfolk like y'all own everything.
You do. I'm not saying that. But yet, this is a different topic. But in South Norfolk, we were not allowed to go to Berkeley.
That's
Wow.
right. You better not come across that track.
But the kids just South Norfolk was a city by itself.
That's right. That's right.
And it had
Absolutely.
Norfolk County. South Norfolk merged with Norfolk County in 1963 to become Chesapeake.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's a great city, great
Yes.
education system. And that's it. So the kids did. I got two things I'm working on right now
Uh-huh.
for the city. Remember, for what anybody say, mostly all politics are local.
Okay.
So two things. In Chesapeake, I talked to the mayor and members of the city council, bring back the recycling can. Get the citizens some for what they're paying for.
That's
Yes.
right.
The
Yes.
council took it away. There you go again, playing politics.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Wait a minute. Why can't we have that? We had it all these minutes year. They took it away for politics. So the council is reconsidering and bringing back the recycling can in Chesapeake, and that citizen will have to pay. Why I got to pay someone when I'm paying taxes right now?
That's
Yes.
right. That's
Second point, looking at the great city of Portsmouth, that I have adopted and love. They have the highest real estate taxes in the region.
Ooh. Oh, I didn't know that.
$1.30. Why? You got that casino there.
Yes.
All that money.
All that
Talk
money.
with the treasurer that they start giving money to the treasurer. And I asked the treasurer, where's that money going? The council have not decided yet. So I'm saying this, they have to give them time. So I'm saying, but listen, what about this? Why can't they take that money and reduce the real estate taxes in the city of Portsmouth. That's important. Those who want to gamble, I'm not. That's up to them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, but what is you getting out of it? What the citizens of Portsmouth? What are you getting out of it?
Yes.
Hey, good money. Enjoy yourself, have a nice time. But that money that they're turning over to the city of Portsmouth, at least they can use some of that money to reduce the real estate tax for the city of Portsmouth. That's what I'm talking to the mayor and others about. Hey, it's time to do it.
And citizens are saying it. I heard someone talk about it the other day, Senator, and they were like, well, wait a minute, my taxes haven't gone down yet with all this money coming into Portsmouth.
What about tunnel taxes? What about them tunnel tolls? There's so many folks that's been charged over in the city of Portsmouth where they have $2,000 and $3,000 worth of tolls. What can you, as being over there in Portsmouth, do about those tunnel tolls?
First of all, it should never have gotten done. It was done by the governor, then governor, I think it was Bob McDonald, I believe, and VDOT. They signed that contract. It was not voted on by members of the General Assembly, the House and the Senate. And we were stuck to it. And when to get out of it, we had to buy it out. We can't afford to buy it out. Now, answer your question, Terry McCullough. He brought that we bind it down so you want to keep going up. We brought it down some. And also those who had those big $2,000 bills you're talking about, Terry McCullough got so they got rid of those things. Wow. I don't know about since he passed out. But those when Terry McCullough was in office, those who had those $1,000, $2,000 bills, he was able to get with them to get rid of
That's
those
wonderful.
Yes.
So I don't know about them, but that is one thing that I can check into. Talk with this government and say, hey, these bills got to stop. Can we get those bills going? That's what we're looking
Absolutely. Senator Spruill, can you encourage folk out there to vote, to go out there? Please don't stay home.
Please. This election is really important for all of us all across the state. And the key is this, on May 5th, early voting, go out and vote. Mainly on June 20th. So my campaign is about you, not about what I can get out of it. It's about you. Look at my record. Don't have to promise nothing. And for 30 years, I should have done something right or wrong.
That's right.
That you to make up this. Look at my record. To me, it's about you, not about me. I appreciate your vote on June 20th in the early vote.
Just before we leave, Senator, why are you so much in tune to the people? Why you want to see the people make it?
Because let's go back to that 15 brothers and sisters you're talking about.
Yes.
And because when I was born with the speech in Parliament, they came here, it was always the community, the Broadline Project.
Yes.
Everybody said, who that kid that can't talk so far? It was Spruill. They always helped me out. Even in school, they helped buy shoes and clothes for me to finish school. So now
you giving back.
I'm just giving back. So not for me. I mean, I have a top from Verizon. So I'm saying, hey, poor kid from Broadline Project, and everybody fed me. Not only me, all of us. See, so that was important. So that's why I'm doing that. So I want to ask y'all to please get out and vote for me on June 20th, and early voting on May 5th.
Are you having transportation?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Transportation will be at 1540 Landon Avenue. You can call the office at 757-424-2178. We'll pick you up and bring the book and bring you back home.
Besides voting, anything else your campaign needs from the community?
Yes. With me, I'm starting off with prayer.
Oh,
the
that's
majority
nice.
of my campaign done from churches, always have been, because I just don't go to churches and to campaign just in election time. I'm always there. I always ask everybody, if you want to be successful in anything, it has to be done through prayer.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to ask somebody to pray for me. With that prayer, I would be successful if God says so.
Well, we want to thank you for being on FYI Radio Show. We are definitely with you. You've been a great supporter of us. And so we just want to thank you and congratulate you for what you do.
Thank you so much.
Open doors where I am now.
For the past 30 minutes, you've been listening to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with our special guest, none other than Senator Lionel Spruill. For more information about FYI, give us a call at 757-714-7861. Don't forget to join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9:30 to 10 right here on WGPL 1350. And don't forget FYI After Dark. And have a wonderful, wonderful hump day.
All right. Missy, you're gonna walk our guests out.
Yeah, question.
Yes.
Y'all got the contract, right?
What's the
Missy.
contract? For you?
Yeah.
I got the contract for the radio station. We still live here.
Yes.
I got you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Look, thank you for doing this.
Yes.
With y'all.
I can give you one if you want to.
If I want to. Wow. Thank you all for tuning in. We're just going to share with you all a little bit about some of the upcoming shows. We want to thank our special guest, the Honorable Lionel Spruill, Senator, right here in our district, our Hampton Roads area in Virginia. And wow, it is marvelous to have the support of Senator Spruill. You know, my organization, Crystal Community Development Corporation, started it in 2004, a nonprofit organization. And Senator Spruill, I'm telling you, would come and support our rallies, our dinner and a dialogue. He would support all the things that we were doing. And our organization was very young, but he took the time. When he say he is for the people, he's telling the truth. He would definitely take the time for somebody that was really young in the nonprofit world, but gave great support. And so we want to say thank you again, Senator Lionel Spruill, for being a part of FYI Radio Morning Show.
That's right. Senator Lionel Spruill is with District Number 5. So if you're going out to vote, go out there and vote. That's District Number 5 with Senator Lionel Spruill out there in Chesapeake, Virginia.
Yes. So Mr. E, talking about the rights for women. And, you know, it is really something to see women having to fight again for rights they had and fought for back in the day. So he is, that's in the forefront of what he's running on. And of course, we are going to have to deal with these gun laws.
That's right. That's right.
And, you know, as we were talking, my mind went on the NRA and the fact that as the NRA, you could show responsibility for, you know, what your services as gun sellers, that you would participate in making sure, you know, it got into the hands of the right people, that you weren't putting guns out there that were too much for, you know, us to handle as a community. You know, you got those, what do you call those rifles, Mr. E? That AK. You got that in the hand, you know, that they're in the hands of youngins. Whether NRA knows it or not, they're in the hands of young people. And just like Senator Spruill said, some of these folks ain't wrapped too tight.
That's right. You know, Ms. Hinton, when we get to talking about the guns, when we talk about guns, NRA, all these registration of guns and have them to have license or insurance on their gun. But here's the kicker part that gets me so much about it. I want to know, and I forgot to ask the senator, what about these ghost guns?
Tell us about
guns that are on the street. Nobody knows about it. Well, what they saying, right now they're saying, if you go and purchase a gun, you got to get some insurance on it. You got to register the gun. That's all legal guns that we're talking about. But did you not know we got more illegal guns on the street where youngins can get them? You know, they get, you know, what they do, and I heard, this is allegedly, that after they empty out the police station, they got, you know, guns they have confiscated. They take them and put them back in the community.
Okay.
So here's what I'm saying. We got so many illegal guns on the streets that you can go out here today and go right down on the corner and say you're looking for a gun. And guess what? Somebody can give you a gun. And all you had to do is pay a little bit of money about it, and that's the ball game.
I tell you what, as big as the problem is, we're going to have to find some solutions somewhere, Mr. E. It is definitely out of control. And, it's just something that we should be working together. The NRA, the Republican Party, the Democratic Party, the community, citizens. We should be working on this together. He had mentioned, the Republicans and the NRA, they didn't want to budge. They didn't want to move. When people want power, it is crazy how they would take a stand only for one side, or just take a stand against right, or just take a stand and say, hey, I'm not going to move for some reason or another. And so we really, really, really need to get things going and get some answers and some changes in this world. Good morning, Miss Wilberta Carter. We got Sheila Robbins, sweetheart. How are you? Chris Hinton, good morning. Mark Howard, how are you doing? Is that a Jamel? Is that Jamel? Can you see it, Mr.
Jamal
McMillan. Hello to you. He says, hello, everyone. And the self-esteem queen. Good morning, family. I tell you what, it's been a beautiful day. And I'm hoping that you all that are in the district of Chesapeake and Portsmouth will go out and vote. Early voting is May 5th.
That's right.
And then in June, they're going to have the election. But, grown folk, make sure you all are getting involved. Make sure you vote. Make sure you know what's on the ballot.
That's right.
And just get involved with one another and talking about certain things, Mr. E, and trying to find out solutions.
That's one of the key things that we have to understand, what's on the ballot and who's running and what they stand for. As we begin to talk about Senator Lionel Spruill, he's at the defense of a woman, that the rights to choose from their self, pro women. He's taking on NRA, strong gun controls, blocking the attempt to gut President Obama Affordable Care Act out. He's for that, stopping Republicans when they threaten our voting rights.
Yes.
And not only that, he's for trying to bring people's rights back, restoring the rights of those who have paid their charges, paid their debt in penitentiary, so that they can be able to become a whole citizen, not a part. Because when you look at folks who've been in penitentiary, they say they cannot vote, but they wish they could vote.
Yes.
But now he's saying, don't wait 30 days. Restore their rights away, because they paid the they did the time, regardless if it was minor or major. Restore their rights.
Yes, I mean, people can't move forward a lot of times, Mr. E. They have to stay stuck. They have to, sometimes they go back into crime because they're stuck. Nobody will help them. Nobody will give them a job. The minute somebody see that felon or you've been in the
can't hire you.
It's like, bye, you are a disease of the cancer, a leopard, and we don't want nothing to do with you. And so people that feel remorse for what they've done and want to move on sometimes can't. And so Senator Lionel Spruill had been fighting and saying, look, we need to do something. We need to make people whole. And that's what he means by, working with people, working with the community, making sure people get the things that they need. And making sure they're restored to a place where they can be productive citizens. Can you imagine, Mr. E, if you want to come back into society and do right, that you are made to just live like you are something that nobody wants and nobody wants. How do you fit in? How do you make that community better when people are keeping you down? So he's going to be fighting for that. You all in Chesapeake and in Portsmouth and those districts, make sure you go out and vote, keep up with the issues, and just let somebody that wants to do good and do right in the community. Let them do it. Vote them in to do it.
That's right. And for more information about Senator Spruill, all you have to do is pick up the telephone and dial 757-424 2178. That's an office of Senator Lionel Spruill.
Yes.
That's 757-424-2178. If you need a ride to the polls, call that number, 757-424-2178. If you need more information about what Lionel Spruill is standing for. You know, Miss Ho, Miss Hinton, you said something that was so valuable. You know, a lot of people don't know what's on the polls. And because they don't know what's on the poll, on the ballots, but because they don't know what's on the ballots, they go out just pull the level. They go out there pull
just
the
check
level.
anything.
Just pull anything. And before you know it, something done came down to, like for example, in Chesapeake, they took away their recycling bins.
I know.
I mean, and you paying it in your water bill. You pay, like we do in Norfolk. You paying for it automatically. Now they want to charge you to recycle. Is Chesapeake that bad that they got to charge you twice to recycle?
And see, this is the thing. Thank God for people that are looking and watching, because you know a lot of things we don't pay attention to. That's just like sometimes our cable bills and different bills. You just say, well, I pay it, automatic pay. Not looking at the breakdown, not looking at the hidden fees, not looking at somebody sneaking in a new charge, because sometimes it goes up and you just paying it. So I'm just saying there are people like Lionel Spruill and other leaders that have that eyeball on what's going on in our community, and we need to make sure we have leaders that are looking at what's going on and making sure we are not duped by anybody, that nobody's coming in and putting stuff in and taking our rights away. Now, Mr. E, I think on FYI After Dark, I would really love again to talk about the fact that, women's rights now are being challenged.
That's right.
Wherein at one time it was fought so hard that a woman began to have the right to her body. All of a sudden, what happens? If you have 61% of people that believe that a woman has a right, who snuck in? Who snuck in overnight and took it right away, took the rights right. They saying now, Roe versus Wade, goodbye. And who did that?
That's like they snuck in and took prayer out of school.
Ooh, like that.
Just like that, because one, we are not, like you said, have that watchful eye.
That eyeball.
When you don't have that eyeball, you take, for example, allegedly Cox. Cox has special. They always promoting special to reduce your cable bill. But if that special expire and you wonder why your cable bill has gone up, that's why, because the special that they had has expired. Listen, when you don't pay attention to the ballots, we don't pay attention to what's going on in City Hall. When you just listen to somebody else today, all you see is somebody that's opposite of who you are, and they talking about women's rights and men's rights and everybody got rights. When you see these rights, you know there's something coming down the pipeline. When you see schools has to put metal detectors and gun rights into the schoolhouse, where they got to have a special teacher to walk around to defend as a sheriff or a deputy in the schoolhouse. When you see something like that, it's not right. When you see folks standing on the corner of your community and don't live in your house, don't live on your street, then you ought to bring a great awareness to it so you can help your community not to be trapped in stuff.
We need to pay close attention to what's going on. Like you said, that you may believe in something, but if you're not watching and if you're not careful, your rights can be pulled right from under you. But we want to thank you all for joining us again, all you all that are viewing and all those that were listening, and our very special guest, Senator Lionel Spruill. We want to thank you again. We want to just remind you that we want you to follow us on social media. Don't forget, we need subscribers, we need followers, we need you all to like, share, and comment for our pages. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the support of the books. Bullying is Right Underneath Your Nose, the Royal Ladies Pie, the music. Thank you all for going online and buying those things and supporting me. Thank you for supporting us, myself and our special co-host, Mr. E.
Thank you so very, very much.
Thank you so much. So, Mr.
That's
E,
right.
tell folk how they can be a special guest, sponsor, intern with FYI Radio Show.
If you'd like to be a special guest sponsor or intern, all you have to do is inbox us at Edward Everett's Facebook page, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton Facebook page, FYI Facebook page, or email us at FYIRadioShowLive@gmail.com. Again, that's FYIRadioShowLive@gmail.com, or give us a call at 757-714-7861.
Don't forget, we have a Young Women Achieving Success program on this evening, 6 p.m. in Chesapeake, Virginia. Call 757-287-6792 if you're interested in your girls 10 to 17 being on the program. You all are a blessing. Thank you for tuning in, and we're going to see you on Fun Friday.
Thank you so much for joining us on FYI Radio Show. Don't forget you can join us on FYI After Dark. That's every Monday from 6 to 7 p.m. Thank you so much for tuning in to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show. Join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on WPCE and on WMVA 88.9 FM. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
See you all soon. Bye.